We are talking about App Store optimization. This is part 2 in week 9 of Mobile App Portfolio 2. And we just kind of finished a discussion about what SEO was, or search engine optimization, which is optimizing your website for search engines like Google, Bing, any other thing on like Firefox, right? You want your website to be the very first website that shows up, right? So if I type in something like Facebook in here, Facebook is obviously, whoops, not Facebook. I actually want to just search Facebook. It's going to be the first thing that shows up here. And then, if I scroll down the list, I've got some things from The Verge, from Wikipedia, from the Play Store, Britannica, and we want our site to be the first site that shows up. So the way you do that is search engine optimization. You use things like robots.txt, alt text, tags in your meta tags, in your metadata on the website to make your website appear at the top of the list. You can also use ads, obviously. So search engine optimization and App Store optimization are actually very similar. App Store optimization is the ways to improve our app visibility on the App Store. So on the App Store, we want our app to actually be the top of the list. We want it to be downloaded by the users, and we don't want them to have to scroll and scroll and scroll forever, because then they'll never actually download our app. They'll just get somebody else's. All right, so some interesting facts for you here about the App Store. On the Google Play Store, I think this number is probably wrong now, but there's over 3 million apps on the Play Store and over 2 million apps on the Apple App Store. I believe that number has greatly improved since then. And then 3 billion smartphone users worldwide. Apparently, there's more smartphone users than people who own a toothbrush. Is some crazy fact out there. So everyone should be brushing their teeth, but apparently more people own a phone than own a toothbrush, which is pretty crazy. So the key to getting people to download our app is App Store optimization strategies that we can apply to our app on the Google Play Store or on the iOS App Store. So it's kind of the same concepts for both stores. So the steps are as follows. Before we get into the steps, we'll talk about what it is a little bit more. Just like search engine optimization, to get it ranked high, we want our app to be ranked high at the top of App Store search results. So there's algorithms that rank your listing on both the Apple or Google Play Store, and we don't know what they are. The developers won't share them with us. Obviously, if they shared them with you, then you'd be able to just do whatever you want to get yours at the top, because you'd know exactly what it's looking for. They're obviously looking for things like high quality photos, maybe a video that's shared for the app description, a proper title in English, grammatically correct, right? We don't know what it's looking for, and we don't know if it uses a point system and say like high quality photos are worth 5 points each, but a description's worth 20 points each. And then obviously you'd spend more time on your description. We don't know what their ranking system is for each of those things. It's the same as the YouTube algorithm, right? We don't know why YouTube chooses to recommend certain videos and not others, and why all of a sudden certain channels on YouTube will just shoot off out of nowhere, because the algorithm, picks up that the watch time and the quality and the minutes and the location of the users is somehow checking all the boxes on the algorithm, so it recommends it to more people. So we don't know those, but we can do the best things. We can do our best to match what we think the algorithm is. And certain things affect your App Store ranking more than others. So the 10 important steps are as follows. Number 1, you want to use a descriptive title. So you want your title to match what your app is. You want to use keywords wisely. You want to describe your app well in the description. You want to have high quality screenshots, have a preview video, pick the right category for your app, focus on icon design, encourage positive reviews from your users, use App Store Analytics, which we'll talk about a little bit, and then reevaluate it regularly. So you want to keep it up to date. You don't want to just upload it and then years later you forget about it. So step 1, a little bit more detail here. A descriptive title. You want to have a good name. So identifying what your app does to, prospective users or maybe future users. This can improve your ranking, and including a keyword or two in your app's title can also help you rank at least 10% higher, which is kind of interesting. So this is a travel planner app, right? We can see that they've got travel as the category, but they actually put the word travel in their name as well. So you get 10% higher. See how they included travel planner in their app title to improve the rankings. The Apple App Store gives you 255 characters. Google Play Store, you get 30. So pretty big difference there. Something to be aware of when you're developing for either the App Store or the Google Play Store. So I'll just move that out of the way. Step 2, keywords. So for Apple, you get 100 characters for all of your keywords. Google Play Store, there's no specific keyword field, so the app's description is searchable with 4,000 characters. So keywords are kind of like tags, if you think about it, on your YouTube videos when you upload them, or on Instagram when you do hashtags. They're kind of like that. Put your most important keywords in your description 5 times, but be careful not to overdo it. Keyword stuffing will get your app penalized and your ranking will drop. So try to put your top keyword in your app name itself, and then use words rather than phrases. Avoid using conjunctions and prepositions, right? So if you use, the best, whatever, or things like that, it won't really pick up which keyword you're trying to sell on. Use commas rather than spaces, and then digits instead of spelling it out, right? So for numbers, if you want to say 1, you want to use the digit 1 instead of spelling it O-N-E. For the description, we want to describe it really well, right? So this is like the landing page. What does your app do? What problem does it solve? How will it make your buyer's life easier? Why is it worth the price? And be persuasive, but short and sweet, right? We don't want to be lengthy with our description. So these are good questions to come back to this slide when you are writing your description for your app Play Store. Your app listing. Could be on the Play Store or the Apple Store. I just question about this. So you guys who are waiting for your review. Oh, Sun, you have your hand up, yeah?
No, it's still from the before. Okay.
Oh, okay, no worries.
Sorry.
Question about those of you who have uploaded and are waiting on a review. So Sun and Sudarshan, are you able to edit these options while you wait, like the description and or they've already been edited?
So the description in the landing page, actually, yeah, we'll try
Sir,
to do it.
it is
But
done, sir. So we have completed all those stuff.
You have
I'm
completed
from,
them?
yeah, from Sudarshan's team.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah. So then obviously you've done them and then you're waiting for the review on those to be looked at. Okay. That's just what I want to know. But for someone like Mithune's group, I don't think you guys can do this stuff yet until your account actually gets approved. So we're kind of waiting in 2 different sections. We've got the app in review and then the account in review. Okay. Cool.
Okay, sorry. Actually, I thought we were talking about the SEO description. Never mind. Yeah, the landing page is ready, and we have like a WordPress site that is active, and it's completely ready with images and other things.
Great. Cool. All right. Moving on. So moving on to step 4. Oh, actually, just talking about description a little bit more. So yeah, mentioned that it's like the landing page. If you've brought the potential buyer this far, you want to be able to close the deal, right? So in that description page is where that happens. So that's going to be one of the most important parts of your App Store optimization strategy is closing the deal in your app description. It's where, they look at the pictures first, they look at the title, you scroll through a picture or video or two, and then if you're on the fence about it, you're maybe going to buy it. The next thing the user does is they want more information about it to make sure that's really what they want, and they look in the description. And that's where you want to really hit it home, so to say, to describe your app really well. Start by assuming that they know very little about your app beside the name, and you need to think like your customers would. So what does your app do? What problem does it solve? How will it make their life easier? And why is it worth the price? You want to hit all those bullet points like that. And that way their questions will all be answered. They'll feel good about their purchase, and boom, you'll have another customer. Good example of how to create visuals that represent the benefits of your app can be seen here in this example. So Sleep as Android's app page. So we can see that they've highlighted the key benefits of their app alongside the screenshots of itself. So you can see here they've kind of chosen with their screenshots to make it like a sort of collage almost, where parts of this image go onto the second screenshot. So this way I don't have to click into it as a user. It's more of a giant image from the outside. And then you can see down here, great morning every day, get all the sleep you need, never oversleep, contactless sleep monitor. So they've listed all the key benefits in the images as well as actually including screenshots of how the app works here. So just another way to do it here. Here's another example of high quality screenshots. So I should have moved this up here. Using high quality screenshots, which is step number 4. People only spend 7 seconds deciding whether or not they're going to download an app. So you got to really have great screenshots, great marketing, great tags, great wording and description. High quality App Store screenshots are the second most influential factor when it comes down to convincing someone to download. Number 1 is the app rating. So whether it's 4 stars, 3 stars, 5 stars, etc. So screenshots are the number 2. So you obviously want to have some pretty sweet screenshots. So here we can see another version of the screenshots. How your App Store page looks is crucial in their decision making, and the high quality screenshots that are designed really well are going to make a huge difference. You should use your screenshot real estate wisely and focus on the key benefits and most engaging parts of your app. So you don't want to include the settings screen or the fact that a user can, reset their password. No one cares about that. That's possible in every app. You want to show them why your app is different or why your app is beneficial and what makes it amazing. You want to show it like the 3 main key features, right? You don't want to focus your time and your energy creating a screenshot about something that no one cares about. Okay, step 5, adding a preview video. 85% of the US internet audience watches videos online, and over half of the video content is consumed on mobile. Pretty crazy stat. App previews in the iOS App Store allow uploads of 30 seconds long, and recordings can only show recordings of the in-app experience, okay? So you can't have like a video of like people running around and whatever and then going on their phone. It's just the in-app experience. You want strong design for this because the video is going to be showing, if there's any animations when users click a button, how smooth the experience is, and the overall user experience of the app. So you want that to be really good. Step 6, picking the right category. If you feel like your app fits into more than one category, there are 3 ways to approach this problem, okay? First, pick the category that best describes your app. Second, check out how many apps are in each category, choosing the least competitive category, right? So that's kind of a funny way to think about it, but it could be really good for you. If you're wanting to do a social media app, but there's already so many social media apps like Facebook and WhatsApp and Snapchat and all of those, but your app also offers some stuff about travel. Say it's like a travel social media app where it's like you can travel and share stuff about traveling, but there's a lot less competition in the travel category, then maybe you categorize your app as a travel app because there's less competition and you have a better chance of being closer to the top, right? You're never going to get in front of Facebook. Well, not never, but it'd be very difficult to show up in front of all those big social media giants. Whereas in the travel section, it's not as crowded. Finally, the third option to approach this problem is look at the estimated app worth, or the EAW, of the apps near the top of those categories and put your app in a category with the lowest numbers. This may help your app ranking. So if you wanted to look at each app's worth, from Facebook and WhatsApp and all of this stuff, and then you look at those totals with the numbers, then that can also kind of help you figure out which one is the least competitive. Focusing on icon design. So what this is talking about is the app icon itself. So that little thumbnail, that first thing that they click to get into your app landing page or the store listing, that is a very significant role in how many downloads your app will get. So there's a direct correlation between that and ranking. So it should be engaging, should be eye-catching, and not too similar to other apps. You want it to stand out, but you don't want it to look silly, right? You want it to still look a professional design. Step 8, encouraging positive reviews. So we want positive rankings, positive reviews, both in terms of quality and quantity. So if you see an app that's, 5 out of 5 stars, but it's only got 1 review, then you know that that's just one person. But say it's got like 170,000 reviews and it's 4.9 stars, you know that that's a pretty great average for that many reviews. You can encourage users through word of mouth to leave a good review, a push notification to ask for good reviews, or an in-app pop-up notification. So all different ways of doing it, all great ways of doing it. Sometimes it can be annoying and people can actually get frustrated and leave negative reviews. But if you only do it tastefully every now and then I think it's a good idea. Step 9, using App Store analytics. So as you can see, when I logged into my Google App Store console here, which I'll log into again here, you can look at analytics for your app. There's also other pages here that actually help you look at your mobile marketing strategy. And just to name a few, for looking at the analytics is Tune, Appalizer, App Statics, App Figures, App Annie. Looking at analytics about, who's downloading your app, where you're getting your most conversions, your most effective sort of country or age range or demographics that you can target is very important, because then you can actually spend time marketing, which we'll talk about another time, marketing and advertising to that demographic of people. So for example, I've got an app here and it doesn't have a ton of downloads because it's in closed beta, but I believe if I pull it up, I can get some analytics based on this app. Let me just share it over here. Now this is just in the App Store, so you're not going to get a ton of stuff as if you use if you use one of those other options that I was showing you in the PowerPoint, like App Annie, Sensor Tower, App Figures. But we can get an idea now if my console doesn't freeze here, which it has frozen. We can get an idea of some basic analytics here with downloads and locations and all of that sort of stuff, just from the Google Play console itself, and something similar in Apple. I'll just move on while we wait for that to load. The last step is to reevaluate and kind of rinse and repeat all of those steps 1 to 9 regularly. So maybe the keywords aren't right. Maybe you want to switch them up. Maybe things that are trending have changed and you want to use a different word. Maybe the description wasn't working or it isn't persuasive, or maybe you're not in the right category. Maybe you need to fine tune some of those elements again, or redesign, or change your theme colors, whatever. And just keep updating it so that you're the most relevant app in your category. Cool. Let's take a look at that console and see if we've got any analytics here. It says no data available on the store analysis. Yeah, it's frozen again. Anyways, so that's the PowerPoint on App Store optimization. If that loads, then I'll show you some examples of it. But if not, I want you guys to take a look at these 2 PDFs here. So they're guides for doing ASO on your app, and I would like for you guys as homework to perform these steps on your App Store once your app has been approved. So you can see here, this is a great tutorial on how to go through a bunch of different steps using metadata, and this is for App Store specifically. Keywords, we talk about visibility, KPIs, key performance indicators, all of that good stuff. Market research, keyword optimization, all the things we already mentioned. And then here's another great one that I would like you guys to read through and just try these. So using a descriptive title, keywords, describing your app, a preview video, focusing on icon design, all of that stuff, just more detail if you want to use the step through guide, or you can just use the PowerPoint. But I would like you guys to perform those steps as some homework on your app in whatever app store you've listed it. So I'll end this recording here and post it in this week's video. See if my Play Store, no, we don't have any data to show you from here. So but yeah, so thanks for watching the video. I'll end the recording here. Oh, there, some metrics, very few metrics because it's not a popular app, but cool. All right, I'm going to end the recording. Any questions about App Store optimization?